trying to shape students beyond just understanding what it means to go to college. So we want them to engage in a rigorous academic program that will prepare them for college, but we also say that they're going to be life ready as well. Academically, we wanted the curriculum to be built around the idea that they should be able to see the connections, to make connections between history and literature and music and art and mathematics and science, so that we don't think of those subjects as individual compartmentalized things, but they're all interconnected. We knew that as a part of our curriculum that we would focus a lot on primary and secondary source literature. So when we're in science class, we might actually read some of the primary literature, such as we read Aristotle, or we might read works by Galileo or Isaac Newton. It doesn't mean we read the entire text, but we're trying to help the students understand the historical framework in which science developed.
It's very important when we're thinking about literature to not think of it as some quiet guy sitting in a room with a pen, but we think of it as people living in a society, having society act upon them. Then they are thinking about it, they're working through what's going on, and then they're putting it into words. And then those words then act upon the society. Okay. So it's this cyclical thing. So when we're pointing out the value of writing to young people, it's important that they first realize that the reason we're reading literature is because someone valued writing.
Every time we have a student read a piece of literature, whether it is in science or in Bible or history, we want them asking those all-important questions. What is this saying to me? How is this speaking to me as an individual? And then what does it have to do with my relationship with the world?
Right.
And then how in part does it have to do with my relationship with God also? So overarching in all of this is developing a Christian worldview and a Christian mind.
The Spanish language is not just something you study academically, but it is academic and it's connected to the real world.
Absolutely. What I tell the students is not learning just vocab, not just learning grammar, but what are you going to do with this? How are you going to serve others? How are you going to serve in the Lord's name? Bringing the classroom alive versus just using the textbooks. It's like using our hands, using our heart.
Okay.
So it's not just learning the language, but what are you going to do with the language?
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to serve others?
The kids know that you care enough about that you're professional, that you love what you do, you love being at work. Wow, there must be something to what they're saying.
Our standardized tests that we have used in the past, which all the schools across the nation use, has been the Stanford Achievement Test. How we look at the results is, one is we look at each grade level, we look at what they did in a percentile rank, we look at grade equivalent. For instance, in the testing, the results for our kindergarten kids, they scored in the 91.8 percentile of the nation. Grade equivalent of 1.5. First grade was at a 71.6 percentile. They were at a second grade, 4th month. So again, they're performing way over. So what it's showing in our reading scores is each grade level is performing above, and some way above, their grade level expectations. In math, we were having the same results across the board. And now what we've done is we've moved over to what's called the Terra Nova testing. We've switched to Terra Nova because Terra Nova is more aligned to the Common Core. Everybody in the nation is switching to the Common Core. We want to be on the cutting edge. We want to be in the front lines, and we have moved to the Common Core, to the Terra Nova testing because of that reason.